What is going on? It is Nate the Game Guy coming back with another video at hand, and today I want to talk to you guys about why I love having a big game collection. Now, the goal with this video is not to brag and boast about me having a game collection to the point where it's putting somebody down, but instead the point of this video is to talk about the pros of having a big collection. Now, there are certainly some cons when it comes to having a big collection that you may not be that jealous about. If you want to listen more about some of the cons and some of the things that don't necessarily work the best when it comes with having a big game collection, I'll link a video right here where you guys can check out some of the disadvantages and cons to having a big game collection. But we are going to be talking about the positives right here in this video that I can think of when it comes to owning a big game collection and having a big game room. So without further ado, let's dive right into this video subject and take a look at some things as to why having a big game collection is awesome right after the intro. Alright, so I'm going to start things off by talking about the obvious first, right? And that is the fact that having a big game collection looks cool. So in other words, water is wet. Yes, I think having a big game collection looks so cool. I mean, after all, you can see it right here. I've got Switch games, Xbox 360, PlayStation 1, N-Gage, Wii U, GameCube, right? And of course, I've got even more games for multiple different consoles that you just can't see right here at this time. But yes, I just think it looks so cool. I mean, how can you not think it looks cool? I mean, you go into a game room or your game room, you look at your collection and you get to look at this selection of you've got this for this system, you've got this many games for this system, or you've got like some cool Funko Pops up on the shelf, or you've got a cool action figure. I mean, this is like, it's like an adrenaline rush and a high, like every time I come in here. I love it how I just get to be able to come in and just look at everything. But of course, you should feel the same way too about having your own personal collection. Not only do you get to be able to choose which games you get to play, but of course you get to choose, do you want to have a complete set? Do you not want to have a complete set? Do you want to go for every game made for one specific console or consoles? Or do you just want to just stick to just exactly what you want to play? What's nice about this hobby is there are no rules whatsoever, because essentially it's your collection. You basically dictate what goes in, what goes out of your game room. But let's face it, the bottom line is this looks so cool when you've got your own collection and game room set up to the way that you want it to be. I feel like one thing that a lot of collectors, they do talk about from time to time about this, but I feel like when it comes to why people say like, oh, you should go into game collecting or whatever, this is something that's missed when talking about reasons as to why you should be a game collector, right? And that is the sense of achievement. Now, guys, I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this, to those who are collectors already, or if you are somebody that is thinking about diving right into the hobby, but the sense of achievement is real when it comes to this hobby, right? I can think of so many examples. So like, let's say right here with this game right here for the Xbox 360, NCAA Football 14. This used to be an expensive title to collect for the 360 before NCAA Football 25 was later announced. And this is also a rare game for the Xbox 360. I remember I wanted to add this game to the collection, even though I'm not a sports guy, but you know, I just wanted to add it because I am contemplating going for a 360 set one day, and it would be nice to knock one rare and expensive game off the list of games that I need to get. I remember I saw a local deal. It It was either off of OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace, one of those places, where it came with an Xbox 360, a bunch of games, and one of the games included was, funny enough, this one right here. So what I did was I sold the Xbox 360, the games that I had already. Of course, I negotiated the price down a little lower, and thankfully I was able to end up getting this game for almost free. And the only reason I say almost free is because, you know, obviously had to pay for that bundle and all that, but in the end it was essentially no money out of pocket with this game. Not gonna lie, that was quite the feeling when it came to getting that done. Quite the sense of achievement right there. Of course, I've also finished 2 complete sets, which are Wii U and Hyperscan, so I'm sure you can also imagine the sense of achievement of, yes, I finally got every single game released in North America for those 2 consoles. Yeah, that was an awesome feeling to have. I only need one more game for the N-Gage, so that'll be one more little milestone for me to reach for, you know, just feeling that sense of achievement or whatever. Obviously being quite a bit of a broken record when it comes to that term, but I think you guys get the point already. When you get something done and, you know, it's being built onto your collection, you know, it's nice to go in and you get to see, like, you've done this, you've got that game, you've finished collecting either for this series or this console or whatever. You get to see the work, the progress, and what you've built and achieved right there before your eyes at hand. And I think that is just such an amazing feeling and such great benefit to having a big game collection. Now, of course, another obvious benefit when it comes to having a big game collection, and that is the fact that you have a big selection of games. Now, of course, it can be a disadvantage and a con to some people because, I mean, after all, I'm sure you guys can relate if you've ever been to a restaurant and they have a gigantic menu of all these different items and food choices and like different meals that you can choose from. Sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. And, you know, if you're somebody that kind of is like that, you know, you may not enjoy having a big selection. But of course, if you are somebody that doesn't mind that, you know, having a big selection is a great thing. I mean, after all, I enjoy going up to a shelf, picking a game off the shelf, popping it into my console, having myself a great time. Like sometimes I'll just come in here and I'll just look at the shelves and all that, and sometimes I'll just feel like a certain type of way, or I might want to play a specific type of game compared to one or another. So like, say for example, I love sometimes going over to the original Xbox selection, right? Of course, there is like the Master Chief collection, like on Xbox One, and obviously backwards compatible on Series X. But if I want to go down memory lane and have myself a good time, take myself back to some great memories, you know, I've got Halo 2 and Halo Combat Evolved. Absolutely great games that were totally awesome back in their day. Of course, I can go back and play some other games that unfortunately Microsoft just does not put any life into these days when it comes to these games and franchises. Talking about Blinx the Time Sweeper, Mech Assault, these were phenomenal games that I loved so much when I was younger. I loved those games so much. And obviously, when it comes to having a big selection of video games, you know, I enjoy just going to these shelves, picking something up and popping it in. That's just my personal take. I just feel like there's just something special instead of going onto like a Steam menu or like your game library of like digital games that you got from the PlayStation Store or Xbox Marketplace, about how you get to go in, pick a game up off a shelf, popping it in, playing it. I don't know, there's just something special about that feeling that I just love so much when it comes to having a big selection for my game collection. Now, this is a big reason as to why I recommend having a big game collection, but you don't necessarily have to have a big game collection, just a collection of what you like. But of course, sticking to the theme of this video, I'll just say a big collection. And that is the fact that there are a lot of benefits to owning physical media over digital media. Now, digital media does have a few benefits as well. You know, obviously there is that convenience where you just turn on the console or whatever, you just say, hey, you want to play this game, and you're already playing it. Obviously, it doesn't take up room in a gigantic game room or whatever, or on a shelf or whatever. So there are some benefits to that. But of course, with digital media, like, you know, especially in this day and age, a lot of games are taking up more and more space, especially with updates as well. So, you know, that's clearly going to take up room on your hard drive. You're going to have to like decide which games you keep, which ones you don't keep on there. Also, when you buy a digital game, or really that matter, digital movie, music, whatever the case may be, digital media, right? You don't necessarily own the product that you purchased. You just bought the license, where you have permission from the developer or publisher to say, hey, you can play this game on the console that you're playing it on. Unfortunately, several years ago, there were some Discovery Channel episodes, I forget all the details of it, where it was like on PlayStation Network, and people lost access to all those episodes because of DRM changes. And even though people bought those episodes outright on PlayStation Network, they could no longer play those episodes or whatever. It's not a good situation. Meanwhile, if they have bought those episodes like on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, they would have still kept them. Nothing like that would have happened. So it's not like if I were to buy Super Mario Galaxy on Wii and, I don't know, Wii becomes outdated, Nintendo's not going to go knocking on my door and say, hey, give us back that copy of Mario Galaxy. It's just not going to happen. And thankfully, that's something that you can avoid when you have a physical media collection. That's a big reason as to why I recommend having a physical media collection. Whether you want it to have it be big or small or whatever, obviously that's your decision. But of course, with my personal tastes, when it comes to not just games, but movies, music, whatever, you know, I do like having a big selection, just because, you know, I just enjoy watching a lot of media, listening to a lot of media, consuming media. You get the idea. But yeah, that's a big benefit that I felt like dropping right here in this video when it comes to why having a big selection of games is awesome. Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out my video. Please be sure to check out these videos here, and here. After all, I post a lot of content when it comes to game collecting tips, and other video game related subjects. So be sure to keep an eye out every Monday and Friday, where I upload consistently, and I'll be seeing you guys next time.